Here are 10 tips and tricks to help you in Satisfactory. And I got
Sounds
Grottos
good.
with me, which, by the way, stick around till the end of the video. I'll tell you that there will be 10 more tips you can go watch, and it's on Grottos' channel.
Oh,
So let's start with the first one. Use the hotbar. Now, what does that mean? Well, on the hotbar down below, I got 10 different items pre-selected. You can set yours up any way you want. How you do that is you go into your build menu, and you hover over an item that you want to put on your hotbar, and you press the number that it's associated with. So, for example, I want conveyor stackable poles on number 6. Okay, well now it's bound to my hotbar down here. What's
but
up?
we only have 10?
Well, you would think that, right?
Yeah.
But if you look, there's this little wheel down in the left of the hotbar. And if you hold the
Oh.
right Alt on your keyboard and you use your scroll wheel, you have 10
Oh.
different hotbars. And I recently discovered this myself, so I'm definitely going to fill out some of these hotbars. But on number 10, check this out. That is set
Aw.
to number 1.
That's cute.
You can set these emojis when you hold T to a hotbar. So, for example, facepalm, I'll set that to number 2. Come on. That's how you use hotbars. Alright, tip number 2. You can hide items in your hand. So I'm holding my sword right now, which I have 6 hand slots. But you know what? Sometimes I like... I can't believe you. But you know, sometimes I don't like this giant sword on the right side of my screen. It's hard to see. Just press the H button to hide it. And if you want to stop hiding items in your hand, you can either press the H button again, or you can use your scroll wheel, and it'll go to the last item you were on. Alright, tip number 3, change preferred fuel on jetpack. Now, when you first get your jetpack, it'll have you set to solid biofuel if you have it in your inventory. Well, if you click this little gear on your jetpack, you can actually change your selected fuel. And it can change, even if you don't have it, you can change to that. So I can change it to liquid biofuel. I don't have liquid biofuel, so it just selected solid biofuel instead. But let's say I wanted to send it to package fuel. I happen to have some package fuel in here in my inventory, so I can use that. And you can see on the left, it's using the package fuel over anything else. But, I mean, come on, package turbo fuel, that's a good one. And that's the one I prefer to use. So that is how you change the preferred fuel in your jetpack. You're using the hover pack. There is no preferred fuel for that. Tip number 4, summer sloop. Now, what could that possibly mean? Alright, Grottles, look in the constructor with me, okay? So, if we drop in a summer sloop, it will double what we make. But the first one doesn't double. So, maybe we want to put something in that we don't really care about. So, for example, I have some quartz on me, so I can put some silica in there. And now, after this one gets done, here I'll overclock it so it's a little bit faster. Now everything will double, and you no longer have to worry about it. But what this is really good for, especially early game, is when you kill enemies, you will get some protein. And if you put their remains in there, you will get 2 of the proteins. Now, you can double that again and get alien DNA capsules. So you effectively quadrupled all of your enemy kills into alien DNA capsule. Whereas if you did this by hand, you'd only get 1.
Does it work on power slugs too?
It does also work on power slug. So anything that you can produce in a machine, it works on. So it doesn't just work in... It doesn't just work in the constructor. It also works in the manufacturer. It works in the assembler. It works in smelters. It works in everything. As long as it's in a machine,
normally-
you can double it.
So normally you would get 3 slugs.
No, with a purple power
to
slug, you
1.
get 5.
5.
But since
So
I
we got
doubled it,
10
I can
from
get
that.
10. Yes.
Wow. That was awesome.
Tip number 5. Bridge everything. Now, I'm saying this because I'm a bridge engineer and I am a little biased, so let's go check out some bridges, Grottos. Well, in my opinion, to make any of your worlds look better, make some really cool looking bridges like this suspended arch bridge. I think that's really cool. But, do you want to know what's even cooler?
What?
The gigantic cable stayed bridge right behind us.
That is pretty cool.
I'm telling you, bridge everything. You make everything look a lot better. 1,000,000 times better. And if you want to see how to make this bridge, I have a video on that. So yeah, make sure you bridge everything. And join our Discord and send me pictures of bridges you have created in your world. Link in the description below. I really want to see them. Tip number 6, create more power than necessary. Now that seems pretty standard, but I don't think you understand just what I mean by that. I am creating 77,000 megawatts of power. There are a total of 264 fuel generators. That produces about 67,000 megawatts of power. This is what I mean by create more power than you think you need, because you never know when you'll need it. Tip number 7, create curves. So you don't need to make perfectly square buildings like everything else in this world. You can make circular buildings like I did here with this dome. If you'd like to...
That's phenomenal.
Yeah, I really love this building. And it was just kind of a on a whim kind of thing, you know. I just was like, you know, let's try it. Let's see if it works. And it does. So if you want a tutorial on how to do this, let me know. I can make another video on how to do 2 different types of curves. But I also have a tutorial on how to create arches like I did over there. So make sure you go check out that video if you want vertical arches. But horizontal curves, that's a different video altogether. Let me know if you want to see it. Tip number 8, use the interactive map. The interactive map is a really cool website that allows you to see the map as it is. I mean, you get to see the entirety of the map. You can see all of the nodes. You can select if you want just the impure nodes, if you want the normal nodes, if you want just the pure nodes. You can toggle them all on. You can toggle some off. It's amazing. You can see all of them. You can also check out spawn locations, and it'll just kind of give you a circle of where you can spawn. You can check out spore flowers. You can check out caves, see where all the caves are at. You can see the in-game roads. That's really cool. You can change your map style too to look like that. This is an amazing tool to use if you're struggling to find something. You can kind of select by resource nodes as well, so that's definitely something to keep in mind, and as well as the resource nodes. Then if you're struggling to find some like power slugs, you can toggle them on. And same with artifacts. If you don't know where Mercer spheres are, you can toggle that on and go find some. Same with some summer sloops. And you can also do that for hard drives and even some food. If you really need some food, you can toggle all of that on. This is a really handy tool if you're looking for something specific, or if you want to plan out a factory and you need to know which nodes to grab from. Use this tool. I will link it in the description. Tip number 9, use the interactive calculator. This is the Satisfactory calculator. So what this does is you can add an item here. Let's say we want to produce heavy modular frames. That's kind of a difficult one to do. And you can select how many you want to make per minute. So it'll tell you every single step here. So you need to produce 150 iron ore per minute, as well as 90 on that line. So it'll break it out for you, and it'll tell you exactly how much you need. Same with the coal, and same with the limestone. It breaks it all out for you piece by piece. You can change all alternate recipes as well. So, for example, we could say iron pipe recipe. That's a really good one. And we probably also want the encased industrial pipe recipe as well. So we can select those two here, and you can see, this is the heavy modular frame recipe I use. You can see that you only need to extract iron and limestone. You no longer need coal. It'll tell you exactly how much iron you need, and then it'll tell you how you split it to the T, and it's amazing. You can also adjust everything on here, so if you want to make it look better, this tool has it all for you, and it'll tell you exactly what machines you need, exactly how much you need. You don't have to sit there and think about it. I don't use it myself because I like that process of thinking about it and setting it up and taking care of all that. But you don't need to do that. You can set it up right here in this calculator. Link will be in the description below. Tip number 10, load balance versus manifold. All right, load balancing is really simple. You take a certain number and you want to split it evenly between however many machines you have. The smaller the number, the easier it is to load balance. For example, we have one miner going into 4 smelters. That's pretty easy to load balance. You split it once, and then you split each of those lines again, and it's perfectly balanced between all 4 smelters. Manifolds are a lot easier to understand. You just set up an entire line of, let's say, smelters, for example, taking in a ton of copper, and you just run a line of splitters down the entire row, and you can just split them off. That is a manifold. So load balance, the advantage is there's a quicker factory startup time because every machine gets items right away. But it's a lot more space to use. It takes up a lot more space. A manifold, it fills up the first machine, and then it goes down the line and fills up the second machine and fills up the third machine and so on and so forth. It's a lot longer setup time, but takes up significantly less space, especially when you start getting to, well, for example, this one here, one line is 20 smelters long.
And you use a lot more splitters for this too, as well.
Yes. Trying to load balance 20 smelters, that's a lot. So yeah, where to use it? Well, if you got smaller builds, load balancing may be the right option. If you got large builds like this here, I would say manifolds are superior. When it comes to power is something you definitely want to load balance. All right, time for the bonus tip, Grottos. Can you read that?
All right, what is that?
Be
creative. To be honest, we made a skate park in one of our private little playthroughs, and it was a lot of fun. We set up our music, and we had fun using our factory carts, just playing as a skate park. And so, yeah, you can be really creative. Just use your imagination, and that's the best thing I could say.
You know, I could really use some building tips, Grottos. Can you help me out with that?
That's the plan. Let's do it.
Oh, so what you're saying is you're gonna show me 10 building tips in a video of your own?
I am.
Ah, so I should go watch your video on your channel. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
Wow. 3, 2, 1. I won!